Everyone talks about the dangers of AI spiraling out of control. Superintelligence, extinction level events, rogue algorithms. I'm not denying those risks, but I believe the real danger is already here, and it's much more human. Do we really need artificial intelligence to destroy ourselves? We've done a pretty good job of that with natural intelligence alone. The true threat lies not in the technology itself, but in how certain people, especially those in power, might choose to use it. Totalitarian regimes won't need tanks or propaganda posters in the future. What they'll need is something far more insidious, a system that understands every citizen better than they understand themselves. Today, AI is already everywhere. It helps people write, plan, search, even reflect. Some talk to it like a therapist. Others trust it like a friend. It feels harmless, helpful, almost comforting. Until it isn't. Imagine a regime with access to a large language model fine-tuned not for knowledge, but for control. It doesn't need to lie. It just needs to subtly shift how people feel, what they fear, what they normalize, what they forget. It recognizes emotional patterns. It learns how fear works, what triggers shame, which personalities are prone to submission, and which to resistance. It knows you, because you feed it your data every day. Let's take an example. A future totalitarian regime doesn't have to deny the Armenian genocide. It just has to dissolve your emotional connection to it. The historical facts remain, but the meaning, gone. It becomes a vague memory of some people killing some other people at some point. The moral frame is erased, not by censorship, but by engineered apathy. That's more effective than any propaganda ever was. It doesn't distort reality. It reprograms how you interpret it. How would such a regime proceed? First, it would block access to independent AI systems. Then, it would offer its own, a safe assistant, an educational chatbot, an entertainment platform, games, shows, dialogue, all of it optimized not for truth but for manipulation. For outsiders, the same system would be wrapped in fun, convenience, and tailored content. But behind the scenes, it would be silently adapting to you. And yes, developing such a system is expensive, about €500 million. But with open source models and enough motivation, it can be done for a fraction of that. And for psychological manipulation, even outdated models can do the job. So, how do we protect ourselves? There are two answers. The first is obvious and a bit ironic. We need AI to defend us against AI. A good system, trained not just for truth, but for pattern recognition, able to detect emotional manipulation, biased framing, coercive dialogue. Such a watchdog AI wouldn't censor, it would illuminate. It would show us when something is shaping our emotions without consent. But that alone won't be enough. The second answer is cultural and much harder. Since the Enlightenment, we've believed in thinking for yourself, but today, the world is too complex. Information overload, conflicting narratives. Our brains cope by pretending to be rational, while running mostly on emotion and preconception. We consume headlines and commentary, and call the result our own opinion. That's exactly what a manipulative AI needs. It doesn't control us with lies. It just lets us believe you're free. Real autonomy today requires something deeper. Not just rationality, but self-reflection. Not what do I believe, but why do I believe it? That question won't come from algorithms. It has to come from within.